The parents of the Oxford, Michigan high school shooter have been sentenced to 10 to 15 years in prison each. James and Jennifer Crumbley are the first parents in the United States to be held criminally responsible for their child's mass shooting. CBS News Detroit reporter Andres Gutierrez was inside the courtroom Tuesday as the Crumbleys heard from the families of their son's 4 victims.
The blood of our children is on your hands, too.
One by one, family members of the 4 students killed at Oxford High School addressed James and Jennifer Crumbley just before they were sentenced.
You have failed your son, and you have failed us all.
And while you were running away from your son and your responsibilities, I was forced to do the worst possible thing a parent could do. I was forced to say goodbye to my Madison.
The Crumbleys were found guilty of involuntary manslaughter earlier this year. Separate juries found they willfully failed to prevent their son Ethan from bringing a handgun to his Michigan school in 2021 and opening fire. Today, they each asked for leniency and forgiveness.
I am sorry for your loss as a result of what my son did.
We were good parents.
But the judge sentenced them to a minimum of 10 years in prison minus time already served.
These convictions confirm repeated acts or lack of acts that could have halted an oncoming runaway train.
During their trials, prosecutors painted the couple as absent parents more concerned with themselves than their son's mental health and accused them of gross negligence for buying a Sig Sauer handgun as a present for Ethan 4 days before the shooting and then failing to secure it. Today, Craig Schilling, the father of Justin, said the families have been waiting for this moment.
I feel that there was some justice here today, for sure. The sentence was appropriate, and I'm glad that we received that.
Criminal defense attorney Joe Tamburino predicts this historic case will set a precedent for other parents.
If your child is expressing the same type of behavior, the same type of mental state, attitude that Ethan Crumbley was expressing, you must do something about it.
Andres Gutierrez joins us now. What was the reaction from the victims' families and the community in Pontiac after the sentencing was read out loud?
Well, John, the families are quite relieved that the judge in this case ended up imposing the max because 2.5 years later, those families feel like these 2 parents, James and Jennifer Crumbley, have not been remorseful for what has happened at that school. During the trial, Jennifer Crumbley's trial, she said that she, in fact, would not change anything given the tragic outcome. She ended up backtracking that statement today as she spoke to the victims in the courtroom, saying that she was misunderstood during the trial. And then somehow both James and Jennifer made it about themselves during their sentencing today, saying that the school district kept them in the dark about their son's behavior months before the shooting. And had they known those little tidbits about how their son was acting out in school, that they could have perhaps gotten him the help that they were wanting. So the parents of the 4 victims, though, were not happy that James and Jennifer made themselves victims because they have been fighting for some accountability from the school district. They have started suing the district over accountability, but that's their fight. It's not the Crumbleys. And
Michigan, the Michigan Board of Education also heard proposed school safety reforms while this sentencing was happening. The parents of the 2 victims wrote one of the resolutions. What changes are they calling for?
So they are calling for an independent investigation done by the state. They say that the investigation here was done by the insurance company for the school district and that law enforcement never went ahead and conducted their own independent investigation. So they want one happening at the statewide. They also believe that had the school district implemented their emergency operations plan, otherwise known as an EOP, that perhaps there could have been some intervention for preventing the shooter from carrying out his attack. They would have been able to search his backpack where they would have found the 9mm Sig Sauer that he used to commit this act. So those are the proposals that were heard by the State Board of Education today. I should point out that this was happening at the same time the sentencing was going on out here at the Oakland County Courthouse. My understanding is that those proposals were dismissed by the state board, but the legislator who brought it up, she plans to bring those up again at next month's meeting.
Andres Gutierrez in Pontiac, Michigan. Thank you.